what is new? Especially my mom likes asking such questions. Whenever I talk to my mom, she's like, "Oh, yeah, you sound well. We thank God. Is there any news?" And I normally say, "Oh, yes, I did this. I was successful in this kind of a job thing. Or I started doing this."
That's not interesting.
Like our listeners will know, I started doing my driver's license. So
Yeah.
I'm telling my mom about this a lot. And she's always like,
She's waiting.
she's waiting. And I know what she wants to hear. She wants to know, have I finally found someone? Or what is going on?
My reasons for dating white people, I cannot say exactly why. And the dating here in the diaspora for me hasn't really been dating. So I came with the person, or the person was already here. We met in Kenya. So there wasn't a period of dating and searching. And so I found myself in this situation. So I was in it. Type, you're in bed with somebody.
Yeah.
And people, we are all children of God.
The children.
We are children of God. Even those that don't look so good.
Oh, okay. Now I am waiting to hear the question.
But can you imagine? You're in bed with somebody who wasn't so blessed with the visuals. Let's say that. And then
Yeah.
I have to close my eyes so tight because I don't. I went online and I did, pretty fast, I must say, because I was kind of thinking that a relationship is what I needed after breaking up. So I went online and online dating, and I immediately paid for 2 years because it was cheaper.
You
it's just so
paid?
crazy, yeah.
How
Of
much
course.
did you pay?
I'm not saying.
Oh, please tell us.
It is so crazy because
Yeah.
why? And I also don't understand how these dating sites also operate. They want to connect us, but then they are asking you to pay for 2 years. So they expect you to stay there longer. Don't they?
It's not expected to work.
It's not expected to work. It's like,
Wow, that's a big one.
yeah. Hello and welcome to your favorite podcast, Far From Home Diaspora Conversations podcast. We are glad once again to have you here on another Wednesday to talk about interesting things.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. My name is Caramel Brock, and before we continue, I recognize our sponsors. TDX Media will be telling you more about TDX Media as we go on. So, boy, what are we talking about today?
Oh, today will be good. I'm already really looking forward to this.
Yes.
But you really look amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Do you want to
Thank
tell us how did that come to happen?
I did like this.
You woke up like this.
No. I am so thankful. I was doing a TV show again today, and that's what we were shooting. And of course, you get professional makeup. That's why I didn't do it myself, guys. That's why I'm looking like this.
Yeah, you are looking amazing.
Yeah,
And
I
of
was
course
cooking again.
And of course, for our listeners, watch out for that episode, which will be coming. I don't know. Carol will let us know when that will be airing on TV. But meanwhile, before you see Carol cooking, we are going to be having an interesting conversation today. We want to talk about dating.
Yes.
Dating in the diaspora. I don't know how many times I've been asked, what is new? Especially my mom likes asking such questions. Whenever I talk to my mom, she's like, "Oh, yeah, you sound well. We thank God. Is there any news?" And I normally say, "Oh, yes, I did this. I was successful in this kind of a job thing. Or I started doing this."
That's not interesting.
Like our listeners will know, I started doing my driver's license. So I'm telling my mom about this a lot. And she's always like,
She's waiting.
she's waiting. And I know what she wants to hear. She wants to know, have I finally found someone or what is going on?
Yeah, I can understand that. I think
Yeah.
with mothers, it's I haven't reached there where I'm asking my kids. I hope that doesn't
Don't.
come so soon,
Mm,
and I don't think I'll ask, or maybe I will. I
I
don't
think
know.
parents end up being the same even if they don't intend.
Yeah.
But it's such an annoying question, because it's always like, I am not in a relationship and you asking will not make me be in one.
That's true. But the wish,
I know it's
the
the
wish,
wish. It's the
yeah,
wish for you to be happy.
yeah.
Yeah. So
How easy or difficult is it to date in the diaspora? What's your opinion on that?
difficult.
Difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I term it as difficult.
And how so?
My experience of dating in the diaspora has been that it's very political, I must say.
Mm.
There is so many things that I consider here in the diaspora that I never considered in Kenya. Okay, when I left Kenya, I was also pretty young, so I wasn't really, really dating or really thinking about it. But I guess when you're home, you ask yourself different questions about your future, about the kind of a partner you want to be with, about the in-laws. And here, again, you ask yourself totally different questions.
For example, what?
For example, when I'm in Kenya, I will ask myself questions like, will my parents be okay with this person? Is this person a trustworthy person? Can I raise kids with this person? Can I have family with this person? Those are the questions I will be asking myself, purely related to dating, and relationship wise, family wise. In the diaspora, I find myself asking myself questions like, where is this person going? Where is their future? Is their future here? Is their future, are they going back home, wherever it is? Are they staying here? Where are their parents? Do they come from another African country? Do they come from Germany? So there's always the cultural aspect that I never have to ask myself in Kenya because it's almost a given.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when in Kenya, it is not even also about tribes, because that's also somehow big in Kenya. Is it the same thing?
It's not really the same thing because in Kenya, of course, there are different tribes, but you sort of know.
Okay.
You sort of know
Yeah.
what the tribe so and so
Yeah.
expect and what tribe so and so. And mostly, at least many young people will be like, we don't really mind. We try to meet the expectations of parents to avoid fights, but it's not such a big deal as
As it is here.
As it is here.
Yeah.
And the what makes me a bit hesitant is because in Kenya, it's obviously stated. You are Luo, you're not supposed to marry Kenyan. You still go and marry Kenyan,
Are you talking Kikuyu or Kenyan? You're Luo, you're not supposed to.
you see, this is me being tribal. Kikuyu
Yeah.
or Kikuyu and Masai are not supposed to marry or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
Luo
yeah.
and there's all these different kinds of cultures and tribes. But you sort of know. You grew up
Yeah.
with this wisdom. Even if
Yeah.
it's different, you
Yeah.
grew up knowing what is different.
Yeah. They
But
still marry, but
they still
yeah,
marry.
there are some people who have a problem with that.
Yes,
Yeah.
Their problems will arise, but they are not totally new problems. They are problems you know and expect, and there are problems you can go, for example, to your friends, to your mom, or to your
talk
family and
about.
talk about.
Yeah.
It's things that you know. In the diaspora, it's often things that you don't know, or at least me, that was the case. There are things I did not know or expect.
Okay.
And
Or you didn't know what to expect.
I did not know what to expect. And I think that's what makes it a bit difficult.
Yeah. And what I'm hearing, and you can tell me if I'm wrong here, for you there's that aspect of at least Black or African, because the way I'm hearing you speak is, where do they come from? Where, so it's not like here. So how is it a preference for you, or how do you go about looking, if you started looking for a person?
I generally look for black if I'm looking.
Okay.
I generally look for black people.
Mm.
I have dated a white German person before,
Mm.
and my experience was not very positive.
Mm.
Um, and there's a point in my life where I saw I will never date white again.
Mm-hmm.
I was very particular about that. There's a time I was very extremely in this woke direction of marry black, melanin, and whatever spirituality.
Mm.
That's a whole new topic. This is a rat hole. I cannot go into it. But there was a time I was very particular about black love.
Yeah.
Because at that point, I had realized that I had internalized a lot of racisms. And I needed to really find out, why do I go out with white men? Is it because they are white, or do I see them for who they are?
Mm.
So there was a time I was not sure about my own, if I had healed my own internalizing racisms, because I
Okay.
had that a lot. I
Mm.
had a lot of respect for whiteness, which I had to grow out of in the course of living in this country.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so whenever I was going out with a white person, I had very many questions. How am I? Can I see this person as a person, or is he white first and then a person,
Ah,
or is he a white
okay.
person first and then I wasn't sure what was the first thing I see in the person.
Mm. Okay.
And but
Yeah.
right now I feel like I have evolved a lot,
Mm.
such that I no longer, of course I see people are white and black, but I don't feel like I am directed a lot by my own internalized racisms, because I'm very aware of them.
Okay.
And I feel like that has healed a lot due to I've done a lot of work with that. So right now, if I met a white person that I liked, I wouldn't say, I like you, but you're white, so I'm not dating you.
Ah, okay. You would consider a relationship with them.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Right now I
Yeah,
would.
yeah.
But there's a
You
time, a
see
couple of
them,
years ago, I
you would
wouldn't.
see that person as a person now,
Yes. Yeah.
and not let his whiteness
Yeah.
maybe.
I'm able to
stop you.
see the person.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's a big step. That's
It's
a really
it's,
big,
it's a
huge.
it's a huge step. Yeah.
And I think you may be more woke than me if when it comes to such things, because I think I've never put so much consideration into that. My reasons for dating white people, I cannot say exactly why. And the dating here in the diaspora for me hasn't really been dating. So I came with the person, or the person was already here. We met in Kenya. So there wasn't a period of dating and searching. And so I found myself in this situation. So I was in it. And after I left that person, I got into another relationship with Mwangi. I still haven't talked about him.
She doesn't want to tell us about Mwangi. She doesn't want to tell us about Mwangi. It's not my fault.
Yeah. And so that was also not, it came easy. That sounds bad, but not bad. It sounds, I don't know. I didn't have a problem in getting into the next relationship. I knew him already because we were working together. And so I got into it. It was a smooth move from
Smooth swap. Moving on swiftly. Maybe it was about Mwangi. So
yeah, it was a smooth transfer from one to the next.
okay.
Yeah. And then, of course, I was in this relationship or in the marriage for more than 12 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a long relationship.
It's a long time. Yeah. And after it broke, that's where the dating in the diaspora now really started.
So how did you No, let's start with the question you asked me first. Who do you look for? Do you look for black or white, or don't you care, and why? 3 questions.
Yeah. I think that I look for white. cannot, not really consciously, because I went on a dating site, and there were some very good looking black men, not many. I think I saw only 2. And it did not occur to me to write to them. I have some kind of a brotherly love too.
Okay. Even if they're from Nigeria.
It's a brotherly love for my, my African brothers.
Okay, so you...
I don't know. I can't say exactly why, but I think that is at this time of my life, or now I've been with white men now for some time. So this is what I'm attracted to. Yeah. So that's what I go for. Or I cannot really say 100% why. I've never asked myself this question really. But if you see me scrolling, I was scrolling and looking at the white men's profiles. Yeah.
That's very interesting, because when I am in a dating profile, I'm always looking for the black man. And it's only once in a while that I will be interested in a white person, and mostly not how they look, but what they've written about themselves. For example, if they've written something about, I don't know, some literature thing, because I like such things. So then I will go and find out, okay, who is this?
You read fast.
I always read fast.
Me, I look at the face first.
But the face says nothing.
Sitaki sura kiatu. You cannot. I have to be attracted to the face first.
Carol, I have been with a person who was very handsome. Very handsome. I think for me, to this day, I've never seen such a handsome person in my life. And this person probably knows he's the one I'm talking about. We dated for 3 months. That was the most chaotic relationship I was ever in.
Yeah. I understand that. But the reading comes also, which is also important. Even the handsome ones will be, but I have to see the face first. That is,
I think you and I are very different. You are a sight person.
Yeah, I'm a very visual person.
You're very visual. Like, even to our listeners, whenever you see this setting, Carol comes in and looks around and says, something is off.
Not right. Yeah.
And then she will go make small moves, and then it fits.
Yeah.
And then it makes sense. I am not a visual person at all. I have to see. I see things, but it's like... it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But what I read or hear, that matters a lot.
That matters.
Like, a voice of a person can totally put me off. Like, the voice for me is so important. If someone speaks in a very strange voice, I can't. No, I can't. The hairs at the back of my neck start. Even when I'm talking about that, I already feel it.
Wow. But can you just imagine? Now I'll go to the next step. You're in bed with somebody, and people, we are all children of God.
The children.
We are children of God. Even those that don't look so good.
Oh, okay. Now I am waiting to hear the question.
But can you imagine? You're in bed with somebody who wasn't so blessed with the visuals. Let's say that. And then I have to close my eyes so tight because I don't. And I'm saying, we are children of God, and I don't want to. And that is different, because what looks good to you is not exactly what looks good to me.
Yeah, I think if it's someone I consciously find ugly, then I cannot have sex with them. Yeah. Or even maybe I can even have sex with them, but I cannot kiss them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, then I find that very difficult.
Yeah, so that's why I have to see the face first.
Yeah, but for me the face changes. Like, when I meet someone the first time, their face changes for me. So what I saw first, for me, is always, it's like a totally different person when I look at them again. Because for me, the face takes take structure with what I hear a person saying, with the kind of a person this person is. Like I've told you before, I'm extremely attracted to kindness. If I am with you and you're kind to some strange person, I automatically think you're beautiful.
Okay.
It changes in my mind. And if you're just, there are people who are just disgusting people.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
just
That's true.
cruel.
Yeah.
I don't know. Then
They can look good, but they are cruel.
and
people.
that changes for me. Like
Ah,
so when I
okay.
look at you, I don't see
Mm,
that you look good. I don't see the attractiveness.
mm.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's interesting. So, like I said, we are all children of God and everybody will get their match. So, one boy sees the kindness.
Jeder Topf hat einen Deckel. This is
We'll all
German.
find our match because some will
Thank
look for the
goodness.
kindness.
Thank
Thank goodness.
goodness,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's, and how do you find out now going on? How do you find, where do you meet people? That is the next question when you're dating in the diaspora.
Strangely enough, the most dates I've ever had were dates that I got from concerts because I sing.
Concerts. Yeah.
And many people. I think I am also a very different person when I'm on stage. So after singing, someone will come, ask for my number. Of course, I'll give it, and all this extreme euphoria. When I'm on stage, I feel beautiful. I feel connected to God. I feel the glory of God.
Yeah, you exude.
I am in the moment.
Yeah.
Exactly. So in that moment, I'm like, of course, I'm full of love. Oh, you want a date? Of course, you can have it. It doesn't matter who you are.
Yes.
So those are the most dates I've had. But I find that after the concert, and those have been very interesting dates because people always expect someone different. People expect me to be the singing person on stage, but I'm not.
You're not.
I'm not. I'm generally quite quiet. But many people see me on stage dancing and being wild, and then they think, especially the ones who see me on stage and then ask for a date, they think that's how I am in general. And mostly they are also somehow like that without being on stage.
Yeah. So they think that's a match somehow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so we generally find that
difficult. After this really silent person comes and
and they're like, hey, what happened? What happened to you?
Where is that energy? Yeah.
So those have been the most dates. But I've had a date from someone who met me at the Bahnhof, came straight to me and told me, train station, and say, you're very beautiful. Would you like to go out? I said, of course, why not? And I've also tried online dating. I think I've done everything there is about dating. Dancing.
When you go dancing.
When I go dancing, I've dated all kinds of people. No, dated might be misunderstood. I have gone on dates.
Yeah, gone on dates
with all different kinds of people.
Meeting, because I find that interesting because like here where I work, nobody has ever asked me if I want to go out with them.
But you are the boss.
What does that have to do with me being a single woman?
That is not the first identity that we see when we come in. The first identity we see when we come in is you being the boss. If I was a man, I would never even try to approach you. I would be totally scared.
God.
No, I can't. I wouldn't do it. I don't know. I'm sure people speak to you in different constellations very automatically, but not here, because here you're in a different role.
That could be true. Because I
Definitely
can smile all I want.
Caro, don't you remember this? Let me tell you guys, there's a time I met Caro in Cologne, Hauptbahnhof. We had just said we are going to meet. She waited for me only 10 minutes. She was drinking coffee. By the time I got to that restaurant, Caro was sitting with, don't you remember?
Yes, that's true. Yeah. That's true.
This was,
there was already
less than
somebody
10 minutes.
Sitting next to me.
Someone was already hitting on you because there you were not in that role.
I didn't get his number. Here is a quick one to tell you about our sponsors, TDX Media. I've been working with TDX Media for about 5 years now, and this has saved my life, literally saved my life. TEDx Media has a way of helping you to optimize your office work. So I am a very chaotic person. My office was looking like you can imagine it. And then TEDx Media came, and they really helped me to optimize the processes, especially the processes of how I work, what should happen when, they came and advised me. They came and sorted out most of my files and all that, because I am not that. And then my website, it's beautiful because it is being maintained, it is being serviced by TEDx Media. And then the CEO of the company, Christian Tiedemann, who does all that, comes to you, advises you, he talks to you, he listens to your needs, and then crafts everything according to how you need it, but adding his professionalism in everything that he does, such that at the end of it all, and he will not use anything he doesn't think is okay for the person visiting your website. So if your photos are not good enough, then he'll not put them in. And that is the level of professionalism that I need when I'm working with someone, so that they just don't do everything I tell them to do. They tell me, okay, it's your website, but it has my name on it. So he will not do anything that is not professional enough. And the other thing is event management. Guys, these guys are so organized. TEDx Media is so organized. They have taken control and over. They organize our African festival, which happens every year. So I have nothing to do with it. The first year I organized it myself. I almost went crazy. And nowadays I just get calls, or when we're talking, it's a yes, no, and I have nothing to do with it. It's the best thing that ever happened to me. I love working with these people. I love the way they, present themselves in a way that is, I will talk about professionalism the whole time, because that is what they are. They are professionals. And you see that in everything they do. When they're doing consultations with you, they are very specific in everything that they're doing. You can only be satisfied when you're working with TEDx Media. And I'm so glad that have trusted us now to sponsor our podcast. And I've been working with them all this time, satisfied with their work. I'll continue working with them. So please visit their website, www.tedx.de. That's www.tiedex.de. Visit them, because you'll be doing yourself a favor. Thank you so much.
Well, you refuse to give your number.
Because he wasn't looking good, let me be honest.
That's not true. That's not true. Judgy.
Yeah, that could be. But I find that for me, I never go dancing, because mostly those are things that happen on weekends.
Mm-hmm.
So weekends you're
working.
Mm-hmm. So my where I can meet people is so slim. I don't know where I would normally. Sometimes I think I'll go to the bakery and smile. The people are coming to buy bread, and nobody looks at you. Everybody's coming, buying their bread, and
of course
moving on.
And you also, your restaurant is a place where people come to spend a romantic evening, right?
Yeah, most of them.
In my right mind, I will never come here for dinner alone. There are
That's
places you can
true.
go alone.
That's
like
true.
I go eating sushi on my own, because this is an environment conducive for me to go alone.
Yeah.
But this place, is with low lights, nice music, good food. So most people who come here don't come alone.
Then don't come alone. That's so true.
Yeah. So maybe that's why they smile back. They wish things inside their heads,
but they would never say anything.
Exactly.
Okay. So what are it? Should I open a sushi bar? No.
Maybe you should open a sushi bar. But you keep saying, oh, he was not attractive. He didn't look. What is good looking for you?
I cannot say that. I cannot
say.
I don't know if I can describe now good looking. I look at you exactly the way you say. I come in, I see something is off. That's the same way. I look at you and
and the nose is not dead center.
Yes. There are some things that just attract me.
Yeah.
if you smell good,
Yes.
plus,
Yeah. Smells are also big one for me, really.
So if I love men who use perfume. That's a big one for me. And I went now after I broke up with Mwangi, I went online. And I did pretty fast, I must say. Because I was kind of thinking that a relationship is what I needed after breaking up. So I went online and online dating, and I immediately paid for 2 years because it was cheaper.
You
it's just so
paid?
crazy. Yeah.
How much did you pay?
I'm not saying.
Oh, please tell us.
It is so crazy because
Yeah.
why? And I also don't understand how these dating sites also operate. They want to connect us, but then they are asking you to pay for 2 years. So they expect you to stay there longer. Don't they?
It's not expected to work.
It's not expected to work. It's like,
Wow, that's a big one.
yeah. Because normally you go there, you get some matches because they send you matches within 1 month.
Be 1 month.
Because there are so many people there. It should be 1 month, 2 months. You should be finished, or you should have gotten somebody. And I also got somebody within a month.
So what happened to the other money?
I paid like you pay your gym.
You had to bring in that.
I had to bring in
You had to bring in that. So wait, are you still paying? Because
No.
Okay,
that was before Corona, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, so this was the most interesting thing, and I think this person is not watching because I think we were together for just a very short time.
You'll be
surprised.
You'll be surprised. People be stalking.
Yeah, I also don't really care.
Okay.
Ouch.
Okay, sorry. I am shutting my mouth.
The thing is, and not so many people know about this, this guy, I did not even introduce him to anybody. It was just, those relationships you're in because you feel like you have to be in a relationship, and you immediately know this is not somebody I want to spend the rest of I have a lot of that. I look at you, and if that doesn't come immediately, it doesn't mean that I'm looking for a husband for life in you, but I have to have the feeling that I can be with you. I can imagine spending the rest of my life with you.
I get that.
Yeah. And this guy was not that. But I was like, it was the first time I was separated, living separately. That meant that the kids had to be on some days with their dad. And that was for me. I had never been without my kids. And what was so nice about this relationship, I could go to his place on Monday. So that was the Monday when the kids were not there. But then the most strange thing is, Swamboy, I'll be with this guy, even for hours. But the minute he left my sight, his face was gone. Gone. And that was the strangest thing ever. The strangest thing ever. And the strangest thing was, I love making photos.
Yeah.
I never made even one photo with this guy. Never. Not of him, not with us together. Never. And then at some point, because that was very strange for me, I asked him, can you please send me a photo of yours? So he did. I would look at it, put the phone away. The face was gone. The face was gone.
That is very strange. It sounds like something oddly spiritual.
Yeah, it was the strangest thing. And I was even talking about that. The funniest thing is, there was a time after my separation, I was talking to my therapist, and she asked me to describe a good day for me. And I described a guy and all that. And then she had asked me to close my eyes. And then she asked me, can you see his face? I said, no. She said, try and look at, I cannot see his face. There's no face. There's a person there, but there's no face. And then a few weeks later, I meet this guy, and there was
he had
no face. No.
The faceless guy.
Yeah. I cannot even tell you today how that guy looks like. When I see him, I would remember him. But he's out from the very first day I met him. And when I went home, I could not remember his face.
This is so amazing.
Yeah.
And scary, you know?
At the same time,
It's a bit scary.
Yeah.
Do you know Haruki Murakami?
No.
It's an author. And when it's a Japanese author, he writes a lot of surreal, strange things. And when you tell me that, it sounds almost like a story from Haruki Murakami's book. You know, I was dating this guy, and whenever I went home, I could not see his face. And from then on, proceeded to happen. I don't know what.
Yeah.
But I think it says a lot when you cannot remember the face of a person. I think it's like a form of protection,
I
even
so
for yourself,
for
as
myself.
well. Yeah.
Because that relationship, of course, didn't last. And after some time, I was like, this is not what I
what
need.
you want.
No, it served its purpose.
Yeah.
For the first, was it 2 or 3 months? That relationship served its purpose, really. Because I was able to withstand these Mondays without the kids. And after I got comfortable being alone again, it's not like I was like, you come here for 3 months, when I'm okay, then you can go. No, it just served its purpose, and then it just ended.
Yeah. And we understand life backwards. You know, now you know that was its purpose. But of course, this is not what you intended or what you went in to do in the relationship. And I think that's why, for me, I'm learning. Because I used to think also, if I cannot see you in my future, you don't belong to me now. And I'm coming to realize that that's not necessarily true. Because every time I have thought I can see you in my future, I put a lot of unnecessary pressure to the relationship.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Because the question was like, can I have kids with you? Will my mom like you? Oh God, those are huge questions. So if I put these two things, can I have kids with you? Will my mom like you? I don't think anybody stands a chance. I don't think so, really. And with my mom, I mean my whole family.
Yeah.
You know, my younger sister. Everybody has to accept this. There's a lot of pressure when I ask myself, can I see you in my future? And I think I've started asking myself, how does this feel today? Because I've also been with people before who I could see in my future, but today wasn't good.
Yeah.
Today was not feeling right. But I knew they would definitely make good fathers.
Yeah.
I knew my mom would probably like them, but my today was not okay.
Was not good.
Yeah.
Then it doesn't make any sense.
So it doesn't make sense because what I see in the future rarely has anything to do with what I want. It's what the society wants from me.
That's true, yeah.
You know, because I don't know
today is what is for you now.
Today is what is for me.
Yeah.
Future is society. I don't know how I will be in the future. So that's why I have sort of stopped asking myself about the future. I don't know who I will be because I've also changed so much. The person I was 10 years ago
is a very different person
so
now.
different.
Yeah.
So the person I will have dated then, I will never date them now. I will be very unhappy.
That's true.
Yeah.
And maybe that's even why many relationships break after some time. If you're not evolving together.
If you're not evolving, yeah. Because you do change. Things happen in life that really, really change how you see the world and how you think.
Yeah.
And then some people have to be left behind.
That's true.
And unfortunately, sometimes it's the partner that has to be left behind.
Yeah.
And I think that's also okay.
I think that's okay too. Yeah. And I think with age, you start realizing that some people in your life are there to serve a certain purpose.
Yeah.
And for me, even when I go into the dating nowadays, I am such, if it was a lady, a woman in my age without kids who want to have kids, you have a certain pressure.
Yeah.
But I have 2 kids.
Yeah.
My
So,
life is good.
yeah.
You know, I have a job. I don't
Yeah.
expect anybody to pay my
Provide.
rent,
Yeah.
to provide.
Yeah.
So I am in a very comfortable situation.
Mm-hmm.
And like you say, that could also be a reason why some people might have a problem with talking to me, because somebody told me that I look too independent. Like I don't have a place for a man in my life. Like, you know,
Not that
I
kind of a
am,
man, girl.
yeah,
You don't have a place for a man who is intimidated by you, because what are you gonna do with him?
Yeah. So it's like I don't give a chance for I don't look like somebody who would accommodate. But that's not true. That's not true.
I think what some people mean with that is someone who accommodates your ego, you know. And I think I've had this argument before, over-educated, over-independent. And I don't know. I know so many men who are not interested in someone who is not independent.
Yeah, that's
so,
true.
And I
Yeah.
think a man who takes that time to tell you you're too independent is probably a bit unsure about himself.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so this thing of dating is still on. I'm not looking at I paid my 2 years full.
Dumping.
but I still got somebody. I still got somebody with whom I was for 1 year.
Yeah, that was not bad.
Yeah, that was a good relationship.
Yeah.
But after some time, it had done its time.
Yeah.
So my life is full at the moment. But I think when I feel ready again, I don't know if I'll go into online dating again.
No?
I at the moment, I don't know, because it was too tiring for me. Reading all those profiles,
it's exhausting.
That is so exhausting. And then writing to somebody or getting messages, and then there's some people who expect they write to you and you reply immediately.
Yeah.
And if
they
you
start
don't,
insulting you if you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Who do you think you are?
God. And I'm like, do you think I'm you know, I don't want to say which website, but do you think I'm the whole day I'm logged in and just waiting for somebody to write to me? I have a life.
And, how dare you have a life?
And then you also meet crazy people.
Yeah, you do.
Who see a black woman and they start asking for nude photos. And all they want to talk about is sex. Or, you know, there's a lot of that.
I think you really have to have a hard skin when you go into online dating. You will definitely hear a lot of shit, I think.
Yeah. Of course, there are some serious websites that one can go to, especially the ones you pay for, because you're not paying if you're not really interested in meeting somebody serious. Mostly.
But some people have enough money, you know, they don't care about the 2 years.
Yeah, that's true. But you just pay to just go and without really wanting to have somebody serious.
No, you want to generally have sex.
Yeah, okay. There are also people who pay for sex on the streets. True.
Yeah.
But that's too much work. Too much work to go online. You know, just write to people, get to know them, or they're asking you questions. If it's only for sex, then
you're right. And there's enough platforms for sex without having to pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's why I think, and I was, we talked about this episode, and I was doing some research. There are also enough websites for example, if you're specifically looking for black people. I had never considered that. I didn't know.
I also didn't know that
there are websites specifically for when you're looking for black women or black men
in Germany.
In Germany,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're in Germany, you can go for those black people websites. It's here in Germany, and then also the ages. Like
exactly. If you're over 50.
Yeah, if you're over 50, there are sites you go to. If you're under 35, it's always better for it. I don't want to go to a website where there are 20-year-olds.
No, what would you do with 20-year-olds?
What would a 20-year-old be looking for online? They have more contact than we do.
No,
in
they don't.
colleges. They are in.
No, they don't. They have lost their way to socialize. They
Really?
grew up online. It's easier for them to be online than to do life outside.
You know, when I was 20, I wouldn't have imagined.
Yeah, that was you. But you didn't go through the COVID. 2 years of COVID. For the
Has
people who
really-
are 20 right now, it really messed them up. It really, those were 2 years of such important development stages. And I think if you are a teenager then, you really lost a lot of contact and everything you got to know was online.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of fear of rejection. You have to have enough muscle to accept that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And online, at least there's a screen behind you. You're sort of safe.
You can say anything online.
And you can say
you can
anything
be
online.
whoever
You
you
can
want
be anonymous.
to be. Yeah.
You can be full of muscles, Nobody sees your pimples, your whatever. I think there's a lot of insecurities, especially with the young people. So for them, at least, I think online dating makes even more sense than for us. But there's one thing I'm really interested and curious about dating. What was your worst dating experience? Your what? No, not experience, but your worst date. Can you remember? Did you ever have a really bad one?
A really bad date. Somebody I dated once. Oh, I don't know. A bad date.
Don't say you've never had a bad date.
I met someone once. And he sat next to me. And I think he had not brushed his teeth for some time.
Oh.
That was bad. I moved chairs, I went and sat the other side. And I really could not withstand.
And he was not aware of it.
I don't know.
And you didn't have chewing gum or mint.
Nothing. Which is also awkward. Can you imagine giving somebody?
I know, it is. It is.
And I always have a toothbrush in my handbag. Can you imagine saying, do you mind?
Yeah, I know, especially for a first date.
Yeah.
Oh, it's bad.
It was really bad. And I, at some point, just stood up and I went.
Did you say goodbye?
No, I didn't.
Caro!
I was also a bit angry at him. Because,
What?
yeah, he was looking good. And I was like, what a waste. Because just seeing him, I was like, this is a guy I can be with. And then he opens his mouth and I almost fainted.
Oh.
It was really, really bad. And not the kind, because all of us have at some point, maybe the whole day of work, all of us have that. But that was a smell of maybe even days without brushing it.
Oh.
It was a bad, stale smell and maybe even alcohol. I don't know, but it was just bad. It was just really bad. And I was angry because I was like, that's the least you can do, brush your teeth.
Especially when
Before
you're
you
going
go
to
on a
meet
date.
someone. Yeah. It's normal human courtesy.
Yeah.
Brush your teeth.
Yeah. And I was so angry that I thought that's respectless.
Yeah,
That's
it's
lack of
disrespectful.
respect. Yeah. So, and that is why I just went, because I was like, you cannot come to meet somebody for the first time without brushing your teeth.
You
And
should
me,
have
I was
told
like,
him.
just with perfume.
You had done everything.
I had done,
You're
and
dressed
then
to kill.
Yeah, and then no, I just stood up and went.
But that was also
It was.
disrespectful.
That's true.
Mm.
That's true.
And really mean.
That's true. But I could not help myself.
I get it.
I was just, especially
You had
when
to
the
leave.
anger rose, because with me, you know how I am.
The animal.
I look and I feel, so it's rising. The anger is coming. And I think before I say something,
Let me just go.
I better stand up and go. Okay. Because every time he was talking, it was bad.
I get it.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Poor guy. So
Poor guy.
tell us
What?
about your date. A bad date.
A bad date. Carol, there's a time I was I practice spirituality a lot of times. For me, everything is spiritual. And there's a time I was like, okay, God, I want to have this experience of dating. I think I told you that story. And the very first date I had was with a guy who, again, met me singing somewhere. A Kenyan guy asked me out, and we had decided to meet on such and such a date. It was during the time that I had a knee operation. And so we were writing and we wanted to meet, let's say, on a Thursday. And he told me we would go to the Rhine. And I told him, sorry, I can't do Rhine. Rhine is a river, by the way, the river Rhine. I cannot do Rhine right now because I'm on crutches. I need to sit somewhere nicely.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, you just want to be taken out and you just want someone to pay your dinner.
Oh my God.
I was like, what? What does that have to do with dinner? And I feel like there's this pressure sometimes with some kinds of men. Like when you're a woman, you want to be taken out. So they want to suggest things like, let's go for a walk
So that they
don't have to pay for it. And I think this online dating has put a lot of pressure on men because every time they go out and they pay dinner, it doesn't
and they
work.
are meeting many people.
They're meeting a lot of people. Yesterday they paid 70 euros. Today again 70. And tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think they try to minimize
meet at
their
the park.
costs. Let's meet at the park. In case you are a useless
And I'll
person,
bring a cola with me. Yeah.
I don't have to spend money on you.
Oh, wow.
And I was trying to explain to him, I cannot do Rhine at the moment because my knees just won't do it. And he was really angry. And I got so angry because I thought, who do you think? Do you think I can't afford my own food? Until it came to my mind, I had asked to have a dating experience. So I was getting the whole scope of the whole thing, like
That's what you
really,
asked
really
for.
bad
That's
and
what you
really,
asked
really
for,
good.
yeah.
And I also had a very, very good date. I didn't end up dating this person, but that was one perfect date. The way I imagine it in a storybook. He came for me, picked me up from my own house, took me out to a very nice restaurant. It was somewhere in a very high building, so you could just look outside.
Wow.
It was a 3-course menu. It was the man himself was not bad looking. I don't know now if he looked good or not. I can't tell. But he was drinking a lot, and for me, that's always a put out. When I don't drink, and when someone drinks a lot, the smell of alcohol from somebody's mouth, for me, is a total turn off. I can't stand it.
I understand. Yeah.
But that was really a perfect
nice
day.
date.
It was really nice. We ate, and then we actually went to the river. This was after my knee had healed, so I could go to the river and go for walks.
Go for a walk. Yeah.
And just walking along the river, and then we found some people dancing salsa. And it was like, would you like to have this dance?
Wow.
And I said, yes, of course. I'd love to have this dance, and we danced.
Nice, yeah.
And then I went home. No pressure for nothing. I just felt really, really good. And I never met him again.
Oh, wow. You didn't try to each other after that?
No.
So it was like, it was okay, but
it
we are
was
not
really,
both interested in.
It was just, and again, the thought came to my mind, I am having a dating experience.
Yeah.
So I've had both.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I don't have so much experience. I haven't gone on many dates here in I must say, in the diaspora. I think I went and met 2 more people. And with one, it was like that. We met, we had a drink together, and then we said goodbye. And none of us wrote after that. It was like, okay, that was okay.
Nice seeing you.
Yeah, but
that's it.
So I will see. Like I said, I don't know if I'll do online again. But then where will I meet people if I don't do online? That is also the question. So it might be a bit difficult for me when I get to that point. At the moment, it's not like I don't want to date, but I'm not actively searching. So if something comes along, gladly take it. I'll gladly take it. That sounds bad. I'll gladly take it. No,
I'll take whatever. Yeah.
no.
I'll take whatever.
If it's something that suits what I'm looking for,
Yeah.
I'll be happy to have that.
You're open for
I'm
that.
open. Yeah.
For whichever experience that comes right
exactly,
now. But you're also not putting it under pressure.
No, I'm not.
I find
under
that's a
pressure.
very good place to be
Yeah.
in. Yeah.
And what is now the dating facet?
Dating
the
facet
diaspora?
in the diaspora. On my side, I think it has helped me to look at myself and what I really want. And this is a question I never asked myself when I was home. I never asked myself, this is what I want. So it has been a very important lesson because when I hurt in a relationship, I change. I become a different person and I don't want that anymore. So it's good because it forces me to really take care and to ask myself questions about it and to be very honest, brutally honest with myself and with the person I'm dating. So I think it's definitely a good experience, but not as easy, I would say.
Yeah. And that is also for me what I also, like you, it forced me to think about what I want, because even these dating sites, you have to give in.
Yeah.
Who are you looking for?
Yeah.
And who are you?
And who are you? Yeah.
And I had never had to do that.
Yeah.
I had never had to do, even the people I met, or my two husbands, or that's as ex-husbands, I never really thought about the person I want to meet has to look like they were there. So, like I said, it was a smooth. This person was there. I've never had to think about the person I want to date. How do I want them to be? But now that's something I'm really, really thinking about, especially after doing work on myself. So I think I want to have somebody who has also done some work on themselves.
Yeah.
That's important for me.
Definitely.
Yeah. And somebody, you talked about misuli, muscles. Yeah.
You want to muscles?
Muscles. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm also working on mine, my muscles. Yeah. Yeah. It's nice.
Go for what you want.
Yeah.
It's
that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Something interesting. There was a time I was with my son in the car and we were waiting for Anna, my daughter. She had gone to buy bread. And we were sitting there and I saw a guy and he was so nicely dressed. I like guys who dress nicely.
Yeah.
Especially guys who have clean shoes.
Yes.
I look for that. Clean shoes. It's always for me, he's a clean person.
Yeah.
So this guy had some really clean shoes and a nice jacket, a dark jeans, well trained. And I told my son, that guy looks nice. And my son asked me, is that the kind of person you'd want to date? And I was like, yeah. And then he looked at me and he said, but the men you dated before,
I've never looked like
none looked like that.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Wow. Yeah.
It's amazing.
So now I know exactly what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Muscle, clean shoes, guys.
And perfume.
Brush your teeth.
Brush your teeth.
But this should be a given. Please just brush your teeth.
Yeah, even without, not even, it doesn't matter if you're meeting somebody or not. Brush your teeth.
Normal human courtesy.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. And do some. That is also nice. Guys, we are giving you some tips now. Okay. Good. That's a nice one. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Thank you for spending this almost 1 hour with us.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
We do.
Yeah.
And if you have some strange dating experience stories, we would love to hear them.
Yes. These juicy stories.
Yes.
And also today, I think we've never done this, but thank our camera, editor, everything. Christian, thank you so much for the work you're doing.
Thank you.
This is really amazing.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
We love you, Christian. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.
Subscribe, follow, comment, like, all of that. We love you.